Yo, what's up? Okay, so we're in this game against Viserai. It's going to be the newer version post Everfest for the Blitz list. It's actually extremely explosive, very deadly, and probably going to be one of the most competitive Blitz decks in the format just because of Scaletta with Quill Hands and Mortartide, and also Revel. It's just some insane lines. So we're going to be testing the currently very strong and definitely outperforming Rhinar Blitz list. So we're just kind of the Mandible Claws here. And then for armor choices, so there's a few things to consider, right? First thing is, do we actually want to pay for our Arcane Barrier 1? We won the die roll, so this does influence our choice, right? Like if we go Goliath Gauntlet, we actually may be able to race the Viserai without ever needing to pay for Arcane Barrier. I think if we're forced to pay for Arcane Barrier, we actually may be losing tempo. And maybe the Goliath Gauntlet is the right play. However, No Rune Gloves is also not a very demanding card. I think in terms of our core, I think what we absolutely do understand that we're bringing in is Skullcap. Having 3 block and Blitz is going to be super, super important. Skullhorn is mostly just there for Wizard. Now in CC, if you're trying to grind out the Viserai and play a club build, we actually maybe would want to go Skullhorn. But this is much different. We need Hardened Crossstrap for the OTK. Letting Swing Big come in for 0 resources is just way too good to pass up. Obviously, we only have one real option for the boots, Scab Skin Leathers. So the question is, are we going to do Null Rune Gloves or are we going to do Goliath Gauntlet? I actually think that Null Rune Gloves is probably the more conservative option, but what I will say is I actually am interested in maybe possibly throwing this game just to playtest Goliath Gauntlet. I think it's okay, right? Because hey, it's on TTS, nothing's on the line, and we all can like learn a little bit watching it. We can actually see in real time if this card performed well or if there was a lot of instances where we wanted Null Rune. So we're going to leave it with that. And we're on the draw. So let's see what our opening hand is. I don't know how it gets any better than that. That's absolutely absurd. That is probably the best opening hand that we could ask for here. I'm sorry, you're getting high rolled. It happens to the best of us. All right, High Roller, which intimidates 1. Barraging Beatdown. Barraging Beatdown.
Wow.
And then I'll pitch and I'll claw for 11.
I just take it. This is, yeah, sure, just take it. Go to 9.
I mean, look, we're cooking. So, oh, this hand sucks. It's a bad hand.
And then a red shrill.
So the red shrill comes in for 7. We go to what could we do here? I guess, oh, for 7, that's tough. They have 1 more card left in hand. They could play Revel and then Thorn. That's kind of rough. I don't think we're really going to be able to block this out efficiently. What are we trying to do on our turn? We could play Command and Conquer, Threat, and Arsenal. Their blocking is a little bit worse because they're going to run Quill Hand instead of Scaletta, or not, sorry, instead of Grasp with the Arcanite. I think also pitching for Bear Fangs and maybe pushing it to 11 would be pretty good. Although we're probably just going to get armor from them. So I don't think it'll really matter too much. It's tough. I think we actually would have lethal. We'd have close to lethal. If we had a blue pitch in here and we could just play Alpha Rampage with Goliath Gauntlet, playing Massacre. Actually, can we do that? Hold on. All right, let's think about that line really quick, right? So we like block with these cards, or we like block with one of these cards, just soak up some damage so we don't die. We go to our turn, we pop Hardened Crossstrap and Goliath Gauntlet, and then we can pitch like a Bear Fangs because we'll have it reduced by 2. We play Alpha Rampage, we triple intimidate their hands so they go to 1 card. No, but then they can they can just block with the 1 card and go to 1. I don't really think that's super good, but also we don't have a whole lot of other options here. It's just tough. I don't know what they're gonna do. It's Yellow Maury and Skies too. I kind of don't want them to have 2 rune chance, especially if we're not gonna have any Arcane Barrier. I think maybe we could just we could also take all of it, hopefully not die. We could maybe roll Scab Skins This is a line that I think is way too greedy. I think this is like, I don't know. Like if you absolutely needed to win this game and you just want to turn your brain off, you could 1 second. My choices are made infinitely harder by not having Null Rune gloves, so I now have to think about this like very carefully.
If you want to change that, you may. Like,
Oh no, oh no, it was intentional. It was intentional.
Oh, it was intentional. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. So like what's another option? We take all of it, we reduce Bear Fangs by 2, we play it, we hope that we draw a blue or a yellow pitch, and we discard one of the reds, and then all of a sudden this hand all of a sudden gets a lot more explosive. But we have to roll Scavskins and we have to roll higher to do that. And the problem is we're going to keep a 4-card hand. We're going to take like, it looks like we're going to take like 12 to 13 damage this turn. And if we roll a 1, we just give up our entire turn. So I don't think that can be an option here, unfortunately. I think the best thing to do here is to start by blocking with Alpha Rampage and Massacre and maybe throwing Skullcap in front of it. All right. Yeah, I block all 7. Normally we want to save Hardened Crosstrap.
Right, so you're blocking all of it. Cool. And you know what's coming next is Thorn for 5.
Yeah, so Thorn for 5. I think we're okay. Maybe breaking Hardened Crosstrap, playing CNC, forcing cards in their hand. Yeah. And then playing CNC for free, keeping Bear Fangs in Arsenal, and hoping for a Blood Rush Bella turn. I think that's probably the best that we can do here. We honestly could also buff CNC to 8, so it gets more difficult for opponents to block. But then it does reduce the strength of our OTK turn. But we'll see what the line here is. We'll take 2. Let's see. Man, this is tough. They have a card in Arsenal. I'm assuming it's probably maybe something like a Mordred Tide, or but they would have played Mordred Tide probably. It could be Sonata. It could be Revel. But they maybe would have played Revel as well. It's just very difficult to tell. They may be trying to set up a stronger like OTK quote. Although I guess everything in this deck is an OTK. The question is, what do we want to do, right? So Bear Fangs. We could actually play it. Maybe draw and discard like Command and Conquer and be left with the yellow or blue pitch and Claw, and that now comes in for 11 damage. But it's just too tough to figure this out. I think like there's an argument that we just like threaten 8 here, right? Which our opponent's gonna be forced to block anyway. And then if we can somehow like if we do like damn. Yeah, I don't know. Because like they're at 9, right? But they're probably gonna throw Skullcap and Skeleton in front of whatever they want. So it's just more of like, can we actually disrupt them harder? If they had already had counters on either of those, and maybe I would say we do like Bear Fangs with Goliath Gauntlet and Hardened Crosstrap, and we threaten 11 damage. Or is it 10? It's 10. This doesn't even matter. Never mind, forget what I'm saying. All right, so we know what the line is. So we're gonna go let me go tell. I'm gonna go Hardened Crosstrap, and then I will this is tough. I'm trying to figure out if I want to use this now or later. I'll break Goliath Gauntlet and I'll come in with CNC for 8. You would obviously rather have these as like a combo turn, but our hand just wasn't explosive enough. Also, it looks like we just can't let the Viserai set up without No Rune gloves, and we'd rather just have the disruption, right? Because it looks like even at 15, we're in a really good or in a really bad spot to possibly just get like one shot.
Takes 2 cards or 1 card plus creepers.
Ideally, what we want here is we want Blood Rush Bellow on the next hand to take the whole thing and then go like Claw, and like Bear Fangs for like 20.
Do I need creepers?
Much harder to do now that we lost Hardened Crosstrap. That's the only problem. That's the issue. So now resource wise, it's much harder to go off. We now have to have access to 6 resources, which is maybe possible, right? But
No, but I don't have creepers. No, yeah, no, then that doesn't make sense. So I think might just be block equipment and then find. Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll just block a skull cap and skull it.
Okay, so we get the arsenal.
Check 4.
Okay, we get Sonata. It's good for us. I mean, that's probably what we expected it to be, right? Either that or Mordred Tide, maybe, or oh, they have the Mordred Tide in hand. Good God.
Viserai trigger. Attack.
Yeah. See, all of a sudden now this is like kind of bad that we don't have Wow.
Quill hand. Special 5. Skeletor. Sonata X is 2, and Viserai triggers. So I reveal. How many cards is that? 5 cards? Yeah. Get these 2 attacks.
Alright, take 2. I think we just lose here. I think we just.
Attack is discounted, but I don't think that matters. I think I'm gonna just play the Gloomfield. So this coming for 7 and create 2 on the back.
Alright, so I think we go down to 6. So what are we trying to do on our turn? We're trying to do double pair fangs off of scab skin leathers. That's what we're trying to do. So I think oh god.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Rebel.
Yeah, we just die.
So,
It's unfortunate.
9, and then Thorn for 13.
Yep, you got it.
I'm telling you, this shouldn't exist in Blitz. Like this thing.
Yeah,
Like, for Blitz.
possibly.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the fact that you dealt me 11 turn 1, and then I can still just, it's stupid. It's not like my crack turn was weak either. My crack turn was red shrill and then thorn. Then I do this. It's just like, all right. After taking a CNC, it's not cool.
Do you want to try it on the play?
Okay, sure.
It's a weird opener. Glad we're actually no. This hand would have been gas on the play. Are you kidding me? Would have been 10 with dominate and go again. Not that we really would have used go again. Our opponent would have had 3 cards to block with, and they would have been incentivized to block. But I think even if like our opponent just makes rune chance and passes, I think we're okay here. I don't think that we're really in too bad of a spot with this hand. Command and Conquer is just really good here. Yeah, I think we probably needed to actually run null rune. I don't think that we could do enough damage, unfortunately. Maybe we should have rolled scab skins there, actually. Maybe the turn earlier, maybe it was the time to roll it, but you know, that's tough. Like, do you really want to be in that position where you're forced to like roll without gambler's gloves to guarantee like maybe threatening lethal, right? Like it's not really a spot you want to be in. I'd much prefer a much more consistent game plan. If our opponent just passes and lets us have this hand, I'm totally fine with it. Especially if they arsenal.
Does blue lead the charge and then pitch Rattlebones to thorn you just for 2 physical?
For 2 physical? I think that what do we want to give up here? Problem is, right, is that we like did we just take 2? Okay, so here's the possible line, right? Possible line is that we pitch Reckless Swing, we play Barraging Beatdown, we pitch Reckless Swing, we play Pulping. Assuming that we hit a 6 power, the Pulping comes in with Dominate for 10. So here's the problem, right? Is that let's say we lose Command and Conquer, we then have to Claw, which is decent. But imagine now for a second if we get to keep Command and Conquer. Let's say we discard the other card, we can discount it with Hardened Crossstrap, and we can actually come in for now 16 on that turn and still threatening their arsenal and getting cards out of their hand. And the question is that worth it to lose 2 life on turn 1? And that's the problem I'm having. Although it does turn off Skullcap for them, which is pretty good, but they'll still get the block out of it eventually. I'm gonna take the 2 and we'll see what happens.
So I guess you got the God hand. Holy shit.
It might be a god hand, it might not. You know, it's Rhinar things.
Right.
Um,
See it.
yeah, we'll see. This hand's actually weirdly better going second because now Command and Conquer actually threatens something. Okay. So we want to discard Barrage and Bighorn here. We'll see what happens. Oh, if we lost the Command and Conquer.
Another one?
Yeah, so now it comes in for 6 with Dominate, and if you block with less than 2 cards, then it comes in for 10.
Oh, okay, so then it's 10 because it's fucking Dominate. I don't do that.
Yeah, so I think we just claw here, unfortunately. It's kind of a bummer.
So then my turn is that. We got these two back.
I mean, our hand would have been... Our hand would have had a Barrage and Bighorn in it. I mean, that would have been pretty good.
2, take 8.
Let me go. Yep, you got it. And then after that, I'm gonna pitch the claw. So you'll see so this is what I drew off the pulping. My hand was this. The consideration I had was I could block the thorn with Command and Conquer, but weirdly enough, like this hand is much better going second because if I discard the other card I get off of it, I can use Hardened Crosstrap, right? And then it's like I deal 10 to you, and then I can actually play Command and Conquer after you've arsenaled. So I was thinking, like, is it worth it to lose Command and Conquer to not take 2 damage? But if I take the 2 damage and now I have access to that line, it didn't pan out. But that was the thought process. I don't know if it was correct or not. But oh wait, no, I'm pitching the. Yes, I'm coming in with the claw.
Yeah, I'll just block with Skullcap. Take 1.
Okay. Over to you.
Not the best. Was really. Cards I've seen, I don't know, 8 or whatever. Haven't seen a red attack, but alright.
Oh.
Red mouse guys.
Oh god, we got the god hands.
Blue Shrill still coming.
Oh. I think we just take it.
Blue that comes in for 5 is, definitely still overrated. So. You just take it all, or it's a red mouse guys?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I go.
Yeah, we got the god hands.
Wow.
I think we're okay here. We went second.
Can I like force a card out of you?
No. I'm telling you right now. You can't hear me right now? I'm muted? No.
7.
You're not getting a card. I don't care. It turns off your skull cap. It just helps me. I'll go to 5.
On your turn?
We'll see. We'll see. We'll find out. We'll find out. So I'm gonna pitch. 2 floating. We'll blood rush. Oh god. Alright. So I'll discard Swing Big. That was not the card I wanted to discard, unfortunately. I'll draw 2.
I don't know if it's what's it called? Beast Within or something? You might just die from it? I don't know. Alright.
I'm gonna pay 1. I'm gonna play Blood Rush.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna play Blood Rush Fellow. I'm gonna discard Alpha Rampage. Yeah, okay, so I'll draw 2. I'll break Hardened Crosstrap. And then I'll pitch a blue and I'll claw for 5. Or sorry, I'll claw for 7.
Those are words you just said.
Yeah. 2 floating.
I'll take 7, go to 4.
Alright. I'll claw with the other one for 7.
Okay. So 1 2, 3 4, 5, 6. Take 1.